Hello, I'm Afi. So welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be sharing my best settings for the Insta360 One R 1-inch edition for low light situations. Now, I have to preface that I'm not a professional videographer, so these settings are what I find the best for what I do, but yours might vary, but it should be roughly similar. Now, the problem with the Insta360 One R or action cameras in general is the relatively small sensor compared to mirrorless cameras and so on and so forth. Now, if you look at the chart on the screen now, you can see that how much bigger the Insta360 One R's sensor size compared to other action cameras such as the GoPro or even the OSMO Action from DJI. Now, of course, it's a different kind of tool that you use for action and sports during daytime. But of course, sometimes, at least for me, it's the only camera that I usually have on me on time due to its small and pocketable size. Without further ado, let's get on with the settings. Here's a rule of thumb. To get the cleanest image, you need as much light as you can. So for frame rate, I'll shoot at the minimum 25 frames per second or 24 if you're in America or NTSC regions. Now for shutter speed, I'll shoot at the minimum 1/30th of a second. This is the maximum amount of light that you can provide the sensor. For ISO, I try to keep it as low as possible. I suggest keeping it at ISO 100 and 400 so you get the cleanest image. For resolution, I tend to keep it at 5.3K and downsample it later when I'm exporting to a lower resolution such as at 1080p or 4K. Now with these settings, of course, the catch is it will not be an action camera anymore. Since it relies on its digital stabilization, it needs to have a high shutter speed for it to work effectively. Since we reduced the shutter speed to its minimum, we can now only have little to no movement in the shot. Some shots like panning and tilting is still okay in my opinion, but I tend to keep it in place as much as possible so that I can avoid the wobbliness or artifacts in the image. Here's a couple of examples for you to see the settings in action. Now, I hope that this video helps you get your best settings for your action camera or your Insta360 One R in low light conditions. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this type of content. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.